Hi, I'm Gracia and I've got a spending addiction. I hesitated a lot to use the word addiction because I'm like, do I really have an addiction? But I feel like the way I've been the last possibly 3 years with my spending, it's giving addiction vibes. So it is what it is. I intend to work on that. I wish there was an on and off switch, you know. I do get impulses to buy things that I want, opposed to just saving up and getting it. But this month, the month of June, I completely depleted the small bit that was remaining in my savings because I felt a little bit overwhelmed because I had to use all of my savings. So that's sort of showing in my behavior recently, and it's like I undo everything that I do because I feel like I don't deserve it. And I think I'm taking the first step. I don't think I've ever been in denial. I've always said that I struggle with this. I've always mentioned it. I've always been upfront with you guys about my financial journey, and I feel like a lot of the times I laugh about it because if I don't laugh, I'll cry, and I prefer to laugh over crying. I don't need to have someone else tell me what it is that I'm going through because I know that I am fully aware. I've got self-awareness and I'm taking full accountability of it. June, I've been doing well, and then I feel like the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I just started just sort of getting a bit out of hand. And even though some of the spending is justifiable, I just keep spending, you know. And I know that my spending is basically a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism from the standpoint of grief. It's not an excuse. If you don't understand it, you won't ever understand it. It's not something you could like, oh, get over it, oh, do this, oh, do that. You know, it's not a one thing fix all situation. It's not a one, you do this, get this result situation, you know. So going back from 2010 until now, I have lost a lot of very close people to me, and I'm talking about family, I'm talking about parents, grandparents, and some of them just died prematurely. I've lost a friend, a very close friend, to the S, and I also basically saw someone lose their life directly in front of me. So all of those things I've never really processed, and I never really looked at my behavior in any way, shape or form, even the way I am with my kids as a mom, my spending, just everything. I've never really put it down to these sort of traumas. I've sort of just overlooked it because in life you're taught to be the strong person. You've got this, you're strong, you know, and strong isn't always good at all. It's not. So I had to dig really deep to find out what's causing all of these behaviors. And it's coming up to my dad's birthday soon, also my mom's passing. There's a lot of things, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of sensitivity around certain months: February, April, August, you know, November. There's a lot of sensitivity around those times because of the trauma and all of those things. So I'm saying all of this to say I'm not using this as a crutch or an excuse, but I know I'm battling something that I can't fight alone. But my goal in life is to do the best I can and just sort of, you know, be better. We've spent a lot in June. It's okay. It's done. The good thing is it didn't go on a credit card, so that's a win, right? But I feel like I need to have some sort of setup in place for myself that's going to work for me. I don't want to watch anyone else's journey to see what they did to go through these things, because not every situation is going to work the same. I feel that this is, and it's going to be a healing journey for me, and it's going to reflect in my finances eventually. I'm not going to say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be better, or next month I'm going to be better, because it doesn't work like that. If it did, it would have already been. Okay, so there's just level times, and then there's extreme times when I'm in control and times when I'm not. So I just wanted to come and share this to let you guys know that sort of my situation, and I'm working on it to become better. And I want to encourage anybody who's going through trauma, grief, and the way you're coping with that is through spending, through eating, you know, whatever it is. I just want you to know that you're not alone. We will get help at some point. I hope you get help. I'm going to get help at some point. And when I say at some point, I mean when I could afford it, because it's expensive, okay? It's expensive, and free isn't always best, so I'm not going down that route. Just from personal experience, okay? I'm going to do what Gracia needs to do for Gracia. So yeah, that's just something I really looked into and I'm slowly figuring out. So yeah, all right. Yeah, I did my crying off camera. I've recorded loads of snippets because I was crying a lot. So yeah, love and light to you guys always. Bye.